March newsroom coverage is brought to you by Enable, a leading integrated IT service management platform provider.
Hi, I'm CJ Fairfield, Senior Associate Editor here at CRN, and I'm here with Paco and Rick talking about how they sell AI solutions. So Paco, I'm going to jump right in. What is the most common AI solution that you're currently offering to your clients?
So interesting enough, CJ, it's something that came to us from interest from a lot of Microsoft's offerings or advertising, which is Microsoft Copilot. So that AI has really brought in a lot of adoption, not only for just what it's been advertised for, but us rolling it into being an actual business solution for different industries like legal, manufacturing, and construction for those not only in office, but also in the field as well.
And what about you, Rick? What are you selling on the market right now?
Right now, we're getting a lot of interest in Copilot, so that's what we're pushing right now. The conversation naturally always starts with ChatGPT, of course, right? What is ChatGPT? But the conversation evolves into how can AI help our business? So that's when we really you're using the Microsoft ecosystem already. Copilot is a way to, you're already dialed in, so it's a solution that can probably help you more. And most of the conversation really evolves around educating the users on how it can help their business.
That's a great question, because a great follow-up, I should say. What are some common misconceptions clients have about AI, and how do you address them?
Well, first and foremost, they think AI is they hear about AI, so they want to know, is it the answer to all our questions, right? And two of the things we're saying is, hey, a lot of what you can do with AI can help your business to grow in as far as automating certain things or learning things. But the other part of that is just really getting some questions answered, some common ideas, some common, I guess one of the last things we've had to do is really some translation, right? To help clients with translation, with form building, with things like that. Questions that they normally would have to, I guess, seek outside help for. We're now trying to introduce them to using AI to help them with some of those things.
What about you, Paco? What are you saying?
Interesting enough, the way that our clients see AI in a way where it's like they think it's just one easy button, similar to like what Rick's mentioned, right? But they don't understand the kind of the layers underneath it of preparing to be AI ready. And there's a lot of work underneath that to structure data. How do we make sure sensitive data is not open for leakage, things of that nature. And so what's been interesting is that not only have they been trying to say, all right, put it in and it's going to be all the solution for our problems, it's been a long education piece of not only preparation, but how to apply these safely so that it doesn't cost more of a hindrance than an actual solution for the business.
That was actually one of my questions was, how do you assess whether AI solutions are right fit for a customer?
So interesting enough, again, they want to really look at this thing and saying, all right, AI is the greatest through marketing messaging, through information that they've learned from either a board meeting or even down to networking with other like-minded business owners. And so really for the assessment is how digitally sound are they? Do they understand that, their data that they've been working for, such as in this case, Copilot, what is their centralized data located? Have they put everything where it should be so that they can utilize the AI? Do they understand the gravity of if this data was to be leaked out? Are they okay with not having those gaps filled? And so doing that kind of assessment with the client and understanding to their particular industry, because you got to think also with compliance and regulatory items, did they consider that as well? And is there some type of a compliance or regulatory body that has said you can't implement this because of X, or you need to implement Y? So these are all the things that you have to have, obviously, conversations, but not only having those conversations, but actually drawing that assessment so that you can understand, all right, are they ready? Okay, from a technology point, they are ready. Now let's go through the educational piece so that they can make sure they're prepared for that AI era that they've been kind of titling this AI movement.
Are you seeing the same thing, Rick?
Pretty much. And I think what Paco is, it's the same approach we have to take to cybersecurity, right? It's the same exact way. You have to educate the client and here's what you can do or what you should do. Here are best practices. Here are things to avoid so that you don't get burned on the other end, so that you don't do, again, AI is a great tool, but you still have to practice safe security measures in order to implement it, in order for it to be helpful and not to be harmful for you.
That's a good point on the last question I had was, how do you help clients measure the return on investment, for AI solutions?
I think we're in a place now where getting into that preparation, and it's same as you trying to understand, all right, from an AI solution, the conversation really should be, how do you allow them for their business productivity, their business ROI, with the service that you're providing them, what is the burden rate that we're saving you? And you can translate those into dollars that will help them understand, all right, with AI, with MSP services, with cybersecurity, for those adopting AI as a service, this should be a service offering versus just, we're providing you a Copilot license. And so being able to offer it as a service, and that offering, you understand, all right, by being able to provide this solution to this problem that you have, whether it's productivity, communication, and making sure that that's more streamlined, how do you update that with the burden rate? Because quite frankly, every business cares about three things, and it's either going to be increasing their revenue, reducing their costs, or expanding their market share. Now, if you can communicate those three things, and depending on the offering, so in this case, our AI service offering, we've been able to identify this quote unquote trinity of things that a business cares about. That's how we provide that at least informational piece and more tangible to say, hey, here is your return on an investment if you choose to make the investment in that now or 6 months from now as we prepare for it.
Are you doing something similar, Rick? Or
Yeah, it's very similar. We Paco and I talk a lot, so our conversation is probably going to be similar. But one of the things too, I think we need to decide on when you're talking to clients is, what is your goal, right? What are we trying to accomplish? So when we talk about ROI, we need to know where we're starting and where we're trying to get. And that's how you're going to measure that, right? Like, so what are you trying to get out of using, or what are we introducing an AI tool for? Is it to save time for work that employees may be doing? Is it to harness data? Is it to feed you back data? Whatever, take data, do something with your data, do something with your information. What is the goal we're trying to do? And that's how we're going to measure whether or not the ROI makes sense.
And then just to add on additionally to that, the cool part about being able to offer a AI service offering is you can actually show them not only the ROI, but allowing them to understand they now have more power for their own data, for the ownership of their own quote unquote digital identity. So for example, sometimes a lot of MSPs will try and figure out, all right, I'm housing their data in a IT documentation platform. Now they have the ability to give that data to the client and then also alleviate a lot of burden rate for the internal MSP for any type of onboarding. Maybe there's a transition with the client because either that they've merged or they're going to something else. And now it allows them to relieve themselves, giving themselves their own ROI, being able to leverage the AI offering because now data is being quote unquote returned to the client. And you don't have to worry, quote unquote, as much because now it's being monitored on a way differently than you could have without the AI.
Gentlemen, you gave me some great talking points today. You're doing a lot around how to sell AI. So thank you so much for joining me today. For more information, visit the XChange newsroom.